Hello, everyone. Today we're gonna tell you about how the U-shaped modular furniture series are created. We designed this furniture for CEMIC, a center for circular innovations. In this center, a multitude of functions will take place, so the furniture should be ready to accommodate the changing needs. We used recyclable and environmentally friendly e-core as our main material. The three of us showed interest in modularity in the first weeks. So Doris, Natasha, and myself, Sahar, joined to realize our vision. Our vision was to present a design which encourages the users to easily and quickly reconfigure their working environments. And these units can become storages, seating, table, as well as other combinations. This design should also support sustainable and circular principles of eCore. We explored the existing modular furniture systems in the market, we developed our own concept, and we put them into a matrix. The concept with the highest grade was ready to be developed further. That concept was the half-box module, which was later called U-shape. It is a box with two sides removed and split in half, and the structural plane is added to the center. This module proved to satisfy all our criteria. We had puzzle pieces as our initial connection idea. We started making different furniture with the U-shapes. We combined the furniture into different scenarios, and we became confident that this module is promising. And then during the process, we realized half box should not be a half anymore. A cut that makes modules of 15 and 30 centimeter height proved to be very useful. With this size in a chair and desk combination, the user will have enough legroom under the desk, and the height of 75 and 45 are respecting the ergonomic standards. After that, our next step was thinking about how to connect these modules together, and Doris will tell you more about that.
Yep, so for connecting the modules together, we followed the same approach as for the module design research. By first analyzing the strengths and weaknesses of various references, we were able to come up with a variety of our own connector concepts. Afterwards, these were graded and sorted according to our own vision and design criteria for the connector. The two strongest concepts were selected for further development during the building weeks: the twist and the buckle or U-snap. Twist consists of a disc with 4 hooks which can connect up to 4 modules. It is both quick and easy to install without the need for external tools. Twist is able to achieve a lot of configurations. It is capable of connecting modules both horizontally and vertically. Despite this, we felt it had too many limitations. The modules had to be stacked and connected in a very specific order for certain configurations. The buckle or U-snap is a connector which snaps into place using the elastic deformation properties of plastic. Because it slides in between sheets of flat core, it is discrete, fast, and an intuitive way of connecting 2 modules together. Because of this, we chose the U-snap as the most promising connector concept. During the design weeks, a total of 4 different prototypes were produced. The first prototype ended up being too small, so we scaled up the second prototype to test the principle with 18mm MDF sheet. It worked great, and because we really liked the larger size, we made the third and fourth prototype larger too. Here you can see the first, second, and third prototype being tested. By the end of the building week, we had a working prototype scale 1:1 made out of eCore, which we were comfortable with moving forward. We tested a variety of hole configurations, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. We also tested the principle of a larger connector with shared holes. However, this turned out to reduce the amount of configuration significantly. So in the end, we chose a configuration with only 2 holes on each side of the module, and 2 holes on the top and the bottom sheets to connect modules sideways. A problem arises when you try to disconnect modules from each other. Fixing the U-shape into place is dependent on the movement of the connector itself. In other words, if fixing the connector cannot move or if the connector cannot move or deform, it cannot unlock. This causes problems in many scenarios where multiple connectors needs to be unlocked and moved simultaneously. To solve this, we had to make the locking of the connector independent of the movement of the connector. By elongating both the internal and external holes, it is possible to unlock the connector while still keeping it in the same location. This means it is possible to unlock multiple connectors simultaneously before starting off the module. In the building weeks, we determined that an internal and external elongation of just 5 millimeters worked best for the U-snap connector. Finally, the U-snap design was completed by adding a hole to the bottom, making sliding easier to do. So with both concepts for the module and the connector done, we were comfortable moving to the refinement stage, which Natasha will tell you all about.
Yeah, so we reached a point where our design was beginning to take shape, and we took some final steps to make it into a finished product. And we had initially aimed for the modules to create a desk based on the arrangement on the left, but we realized this wasn't going to work very well due to the moving sliding connection, which would always result in a sag in the tabletop. So we needed a tabletop which could bear onto some supporting modules as opposed to relying on the connection, as shown on the right. Therefore, we introduced new module sizes that are 90 and 30 centimeters long, which allowed us to make much more usable tables and chairs without relying on the connection. And you'll see these in a few slides. We also looked into the finer details here, such as rounding the corners for practicality and adding a handle to make the units easier to carry. And this then led us to think into more detail about how the modules will be built from E-core. A 10 millimeter thickness of E-core was selected based on the thickness needed for the connector and the strengths of the modules themselves. And we decided on the arrangement shown here, which uses tabs slotted into holes that are then glued in place. And we have two options for how the units might actually be produced. The first involves laser cutting the pre-laminated 10 millimeter E-core, then manually drilling the holes for the connector after. Or the second option, where you laser cut 2.5 millimeter E-core, incorporating the holes for the connector in the laser cutting and then laminating, which reduces the manual processes, but both are viable options. And the U-snap is made from injection molded recycled plastics. And so the final modules are shown here with their dimensions, all have the same width of 45 centimeters and varying lengths and heights. And to connect these modules together in multiple directions, you use the U-snap connector, which the principles were explained earlier and shown in the video. And then these can be used to create lots of combinations. Here are the variations of box sizes, which are probably the most simple combination. And table variations, which we're showing 6 standard ones here, but there are lots of others. You'll see there's a 75 centimeter height, creating a sitting desk, and 105 for a standing desk. And again, a few of the chair variations are shown here, which can be stools or chairs with backrests, which can be joined to make benches and step seating. And also the variety of storage systems, which may be more permanent pieces and reconfigured less frequently. And these individual pieces can then be combined to provide the setting for various working scenarios. And this is how we envisage U-shape being used within CEMEC, so for social areas, but also meetings and presentations. And we've created some impressions of the furniture within CEMEC. So here is a presentation scenario, which could later be rearranged for events and exhibitions to showcase new products. And equally for more casual settings, for relaxing and socializing or informal meetings. And on the right, you should be able to see a poster, which we imagine will be provided with the furniture to give some guidance on particular useful furniture configurations. And that poster is here, where we show typical furniture and how many connections are needed to make them. And finally, we have a short stop motion to demonstrate some of these different combinations. hope you saw the little waving man at the end, because that took quite a while to do. But yeah, thank you for listening, and please let us know if you have any questions.
Thank you very much. Impressive. Looks very nice.